Whoa! How's it going, everyone? Welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to unbox yet another product sent to me from Games Workshop. This time it's very exciting. I have Speed Freaks. This is a totally different game. This is about two mobs of Speed Freak orcs fighting against each other in a very high-speed combat kind of style. Apparently you can customize your vehicles, and it has some moving templates that makes it look a little bit like X-Wing if you played that game. I am by no means familiar with the rules of this game, but we're going to check it out. This is the first time I see it, and we're going to open the box right now. This game contains two speed mobs of orcs. Of course, you could combine those two and add them to your orc army if you want. But for the purposes of the game, this game is supposed to divide all those mobs into two different mobs. It has two kinds of vehicles, the Custom Boosta Blasta and the Shock Jump Dragsta. It has those two unpronounceable vehicles, and it also has 6 bikes for two different mobs, and that's it. Let's check it out. Okay, so this is it. This is the new installment for Games Workshop's new kind of series of games. I can remember a game such as Gangs of Komorra or something like that. This set reminds me of that, although this is a much bigger box. This is about the size of a starter set box, and it's very heavy. I still don't know why, because I haven't opened it. I have read the back and I have an idea of what comes inside, but we're going to open it right now and see what is it. Woo! October's here, guys. Here we go. So this at first glance reminds me of the Kill Team set. It has a bunch of colored plastic. It already has the gangs painted on the colors that they're going to be at the end, so that you can start playing without necessarily painting if you don't want to. The terrain is painted in this kind of a dark metallic, sort of kind of like the tin bits or Warplock bronze kind of color of the new metallic color. This is one of the big trucks. It's a very big sprue. I'm a little bit surprised. I didn't expect it to be this big. On the box it looks a little bit smaller. I don't know how it looks all assembled, but you can see this is the chassis, so it's pretty big. At least the size, a little bit smaller than a rhino or something like that. Rhinos are not that big. Here we have one of the mobs. This is 3 bikers, I believe. I don't know if these are new sprues for bikes. They don't appear to be, because they look like old sprues in my opinion. Just because there's a lot of space in between the parts. I wouldn't know though, because I don't collect orcs and I haven't ever assembled any bikes, but someone in the comments below, please let me know. So I just checked, and apparently both the yellow and red sprues are identical. They're just colored a different way. I imagine you can assemble them in different ways because you have a lot of options, but they're colored a different color so that you can start playing without painting. So that's cool. And this is the second truck. I don't see any obvious like chassis part, so I think this is the part that looks like a chassis, but I think that it goes together with some other parts like this one's maybe, or something else. It doesn't look like a very big model, but we haven't assembled it yet, so we don't know. But this is what you get. Once the models are out of the way, we have this very nice piece of artwork like we do with all of our starter sets. It looks pretty cool. And below that we have the dice, which are specialty dice. It has symbols. So is the size of the bases anything to go by? You can compare them to the photos in the back of the box. This is a pretty big box. It's like a small chariot or something like that. And I think it's going to look pretty good. It's kind of big. It's bigger than I expected. And we have 2 of those, of course. We have cavalry bases for the bikes, so we won't be using the thin kind of rounded bases that we used to use the previous edition. What else? We have a sample chapter of The Beast Arises, Volume 1, from Dan Abnett. This is a pretty good writer. I've read a couple of books from him. He's pretty good. And it's only 29 pages, so it's a very light read, and it'll probably help you get in the mood of how to play this game and what it's all about. We have damage cards, which are probably just used to make damage to each of the vehicles whenever you take damage, and they apply different effects depending on what you draw. We have custom job cards, which are probably extra abilities that you can buy for your mob. These are the vehicle data cards. We have the Megatrack Scrapjet. We have a custom Boosta Blasta and a Boondakas Naswagon. Also we have the bikes, which can have very different configurations as well, and it has they have their own abilities. These are just war bikers. They're pretty much the same. 3 of each. These are gaming screens and dashboard. Pardon me. These aren't templates. Probably these are to keep track of something that your opponent is not supposed to see, because these are meant to fold like that, so that you can put your dashboard behind it and be protected from your opponent from seeing it. I don't know. Next we have an assembly guide, which is very self-explanatory. We're going to have different options of how to assemble each of the vehicles. We have a Shock Jump Dragsta, we have the Custom Boosta Blasta, and we have the Orc Warbikers. And we have 40k rules. I don't know when the Warhammer 40k Codex for Orcs is going to come out, but we have new rules for these models. And this is a good one because we have color suggestions for the paint schemes, and probably it's going to be easier to paint these guys if you have like an idea of what colors to use. So that's pretty cool. And this is the Speed Freaks rulebook. It has an introduction to this game. It has a game overview. I imagine these rules should be not that complicated, because this game is standing on its own, and it's a totally different game than the game that we're accustomed to play. It has a spinning phase, it has a shooting phase, a fighting phase, it has scenarios that you can play, and it has additional rules that you can implement for each of the clans. Here you can see them. It has the Evil Sons, the Goths, the Batmoons, Snake Bites, the Death Skulls, and the Blood Axes. It also has rules for campaigns as well if you really want to do that. And it has some awesome artwork of the models that come inside. So there's a couple more trucks that I don't see in this set. I don't think you can build them from what comes in this set. Here it comes the Custom Boosta Blasta, which is this one here. It comes the Shock Jump Dragsta, which is this one here that looks more like a race car. We have a big truck, Rocket Truck Squeak Buggy, and I don't think we have that. I don't think we have this one on this set. Probably is going to come out later. And we have the Death Killer War Trike. Nothing stops you from proxying these two with these two just to try these rules out. But I think that's very exciting that we have 4 varieties of vehicles for orcs that you can use on games. That's pretty cool. Now that that's done, I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to open it. So this is a gaming boards pack, and it looks pretty heavy, pretty thick. I think this is these are folded. These guys unfold onto very big pieces. These guys unfold into very big pieces. We have one, and it's double-sided. It has this side that looks more grayish green, and it has the other side that looks more like a brown dirt. And we have one of them. We have 2. We have a third one with a big Aquila symbol. It looks like a photograph. And brown on the other side. And the last one is here. So I can tell you can make a very big board with this. These are 16.5 by 22 inches. And it's the same quality as the Kill Team boards. That is a very matte finish. And it's modular. But together they make a very big board surface that is 33 inches by 44. It is a very big board that might not fit on your regular coffee table. It probably fits on a medium-sized dinner table, and maybe you can play there. Even games of Kill Team you can play on these. It looks pretty cool. So what else? Let's see. We have these markers and templates. So we have these kinds of bullet holes. I think these two are identical, just flipped over. We have a bunch of bullet holes that probably represent wounds, and we have this kind of twists and turns that look pretty crazy. From the other side they look like this. The other piece of templates, it has numbers. It has these things, I don't know what they are. And it has an orc token here in the corner. This is the way it looks on the other side. Pretty much the same, just backwards. And we also have just a regular ruler that measures inches. So they could use it. You can also use it in Kill Team and 40k. And that's it. That's all that comes in this box. So I'm going to take a closer look at the barricades or terrain features of this box. This looks like a big pile of rubble, like a crashed vehicle. This is very interesting. You probably just need to paint it like lead belcher and paint some of the panels and some of the stuff with whatever color you want the vehicle to represent. And just do some weathering, just add a little bit of rust and a little bit of dry brushes and paint some different stuff in different colors just to make it different. And you got yourself a nice piece of rubble terrain that you can use on whatever games you want. And it looks pretty cool. It has some barricades. Here's one. Here we have like a dashboard, and here we have like a radiator. And a bunch of different truck parts. We have a different pile. It's a lot bigger than the other one, and it's different. It has a bunch of tires, some sort of textured metal, like diamond pattern, and just a bunch of scrap metal. It has a bunch of things, but I think that if you paint it in lead belcher and just dry brush it and use a lot of wash on it and just paint a couple parts, it's gonna look pretty cool. So this is just 3 parts, the barricade and 2 piles, and then the other sprue is going to be a smaller pile. We have a large, a medium, and a small pile that has a an imperial crate here. We have a couple mortars, apparently, a barrel, some pieces of pipe, and a bunch of stuff. We have another barricade. This is a bigger barricade, this is a large barricade, and we have another barricade here. So we have a large, a medium, and a small one on the other sprue, and they're all different. These have very nice orky themes, and I like that a lot. And they look pretty cool. From the other side it looks like this, a little bit more plain, but it looks cool nonetheless. So that's it, that's the first exciting thing. Then next we go to the first vehicle. I won't be able to really accurately tell you what this is all about because I haven't assembled it, but apparently we have a couple Gretchen here that you can add to your vehicle, some saw blades, some Gretchen, a big chassis, and we have some fairly smooth wheels. This is probably the inside of the wheel. And on the other side we have the outside of the wheel, which is a lot more, it has this spikes texture that looks pretty mean. We have a bumper, very orky. The driver is probably up here. I don't see the face yet. It's here, it's right here. And he is yellow. And these crazy parts, I don't know what they are. They look funky, they look like this, they spin. And we have a cannon. And this is probably the dashboard or something like that. We have some chains on the right. So I wouldn't know how this goes together, but probably, I'm thinking that there's only one way to assemble this truck. Of course you can orcify it even more and add parts from other sets, or maybe add some plastic card or anything like that to make them different. But I'm thinking that this doesn't have any variants. This is just one vehicle, in my opinion. I might be wrong. This is the red vehicle, and this looks like it is the chassis. We have some tanks on the top, and probably this is the driver, and here's a stick bomb. He's holding a stick bomb and a bunch of different parts. This is not the one that looks like a race car, this is the other one. We have a bunch of different wheels with a lot of texture, and we have some sort of a cannon. I really don't know what it does yet, and that's it. Bunch of wheels. This is I think this is like a side door and one of the wheels. You can see it here. And yeah, that's it. A bunch of exhaust pipes. And this is very hard to make out because there's a lot of small parts. There's no definite part that gives you an idea of how the vehicle looks other than in the pictures that I already showed you. But this is it. We have two vehicles that probably go together in very specific ways. Next, I'm going to bring out the bike sprues, and these probably already exist. I'm thinking that's the case. And we have the main body of the bike. We have the wheels here, which I think I've seen them before. We have a big chopper that looks pretty cool. We have some screaming faces, torso, a claw, the arms holding the bike handles. We have some of their legs, more cool heads. We have this strange symbol that probably goes on the knob, and we have another one right here. These are the combi shooters probably. This is another part of the claw and two more faces. They all look pretty cool. I like them a lot. So the bikes are 3 sprues. We've probably seen them before. We have some exhausts, a hand holding a chain, the handlebars, a Gretchen holding from a pole, the torsos, more weapons, and I don't know what this is. Probably some sort of guard or some decoration on the bike. And that's it. That's all that it is. There's only there's 3 sprues of bikes in red, and we have 3 identical sprues on yellow, and that's it. So that's it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. And this is a very heavy box. It's a very big box with a brand new game. It has very cool terrain and has 2 vehicles that we haven't seen before. You get 2 mobs, you get 6 bikes, and that's a good start for an orc Speed Freaks army. That'll look pretty cool. Also, it has rules so you can play with your friends if you want to play that, and if you want to play 40k, you can use them for that instead. And that's it. I'm pretty excited. I don't play orcs, but I have my friend that plays them. But that's all. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel to see more videos in the future. If you can, please click the notification bell so that you don't miss any more uploads. That's all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. You stayed. Great. Thank you very much for supporting my channel, and if you would like to become a patron, there is a link to my Patreon page in the description below. Your contributions help pay for my work and keeps the channel going. A single $1 a month is more than enough, and you can cancel at any time. If you can't, don't worry, you can support my channel by simply watching my videos and sharing them with your friends. Thank you for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you on the next one.